all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good Monday evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and a pretty quiet weather day around North Central Washington. Temperatures warmed up as we approach rush hour here in the Wenatchee area, and it was a beautiful one today with temperatures in the upper 30s and almost 40 degrees in some locations, but we do expect precipitation tonight. In fact, tonight we have an 80% chance of a rain-snow mix here in the Wenatchee area. Snow totals, it says 1 inch for Wenatchee. I'm a little skeptical of that. I think we'll see more of a rain event tonight, but we could see that very slippery, that freezing rain tonight, which will make our morning commute very, very slick tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind as you head out the door. And then an even bigger storm system will move our way on Thursday, and we'll tell you more about that coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A one-vehicle crash in Grant County claimed the life of a Palisades man early Sunday morning, and Lake Chelan Community Hospital is looking for a new CEO. But first, we begin tonight in this inn late in our newsroom this afternoon. Eastmont High School received a tip of a student having a firearm on campus at about 2:20 this afternoon. Law enforcement was called and assisted administration. The school was placed into lockdown and no weapon was found. Students were released shortly afterward. A manhunt is underway in Pierce County following the shooting death of a sheriff's deputy. It's being reported by the Pierce County Sheriff's Office that the shooting occurred at a home in the Spanaway area. Officials say numerous streets are being closed in the area as law enforcement conducts a search for the gunman. Cairo News is reporting that one suspect was shot and killed at that residence. It appears the deputy was responding to a report of a residential burglary at the home when he was shot and killed. The Sheriff's Office says 33-year-old Daniel McCartney was a 3-year veteran with the Sheriff's Office and a Navy veteran. He's survived by 3 young boys. In a statement earlier from the Governor's Office, Jay Inslee asked all Washingtonians to hold Deputy McCartney's family in our hearts, as well as all the men and women in Pierce County Sheriff's Department who served with McCartney and all who serve in law enforcement across our state. A one-vehicle crash in Grant County claimed the life of a Palisades man early Sunday morning. State troopers say the victim, 41-year-old Casey Crockett, was riding as a passenger in a car driven by 53-year-old George Wistos of Wenatchee. Wistos reportedly lost control of his Jeep Cherokee while driving westbound on I-90 about 6 miles east of George. The vehicle rolled over several times and came to rest on its top. Wistos was not injured, but a second passenger, identified as 46-year-old Tina Thorne of Palisades, was transported to Quincy Valley Hospital for treatment. Wistos was charged with driving with the wheels off the roadway. After almost 9 years at the Lake Chelan Community Hospital, CEO Kevin Abel announced his resignation in a news release last week. Abel is accepting a job as CEO at North Valley Hospital in Whitefish, Montana, and his resignation is effective April 1st. Hospital District Commission Chairwoman Mary Signorelli said because of Abel's leadership, the district is in good shape to take on this transition.
The board feels very good about the fact that we're not in the same place we were 9 years ago. We're in a very sound place for the hospital to be in terms of our finances, in terms of our leadership, in terms of our staffing, and in terms of the health care that we provide. We feel really good about what we have going on. We hate like heck losing Kevin. We are very happy for him and his family. We're looking at all of our options. They're going to bring us back and make recommendations about what they find.
The hospital is also on its way to building a new facility in Chelan and has started laying the groundwork for the multi-million-dollar project.
We're in the middle of winter, so it's a good opportunity for us to finalize our floor plan and work with our contractor and our architect and our facilities a committee and our project manager, and we're putting in our departments and looking at what space is needed and how much space is needed. And we're within our footprint, moving a few walls around here and there and saying, no, this department needs a little more space here and that one doesn't need as much, and we can do this here and that there.
Signorelli said the board has no timeline for hiring a new CEO, but expects the new hospital facility to be completed by the spring of 2020. A roaming cougar caused quite a stir for residents in the Orondo area over the weekend. Eric Granstrom has the story.
Well, it was an interesting weekend for the folks here in Orondo as a cougar was sighted late Saturday night. In fact, it was a youngster coming home from a basketball game that saw it right here in the tree behind me. That got 84-year-old Marvin Ray involved as he came to investigate.
We come back hunting for it and couldn't find it. We went around the other side of the house, and there it was laying down. It just got tired of us shining the light on it, and it got up, stood there and looked at us, turned around and walked away.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been orcharding here?
Since 1974.
Okay, and have you had cougars through your orchard like this before?
Not that I know of.
So the Department of Fish and Wildlife got involved only when the cougar was found dead on the highway this morning.
A male cougar here, about 2 to 3 years old, was hit by a car last night, somewhere around midnight. Came out just to check it out to see what was going on. It was possible that this one took its tail off, but from looking at the animal, obviously the car was just enough damage that it removed the tail of the cat. So seems like a healthy 2 to 3 year old cat. I'm not seeing anything where it looks like it's emaciated and weak. So he's probably just doing his normal thing. And with headlights at night, it's like any other animal. They can't tell how far a car is away, and they get scared and try to run, and they end up choosing the wrong time to run across the road.
So if you come in contact with what you think might be a cougar, what should you do?
So yeah, if you confront a cougar, we always tell people, make yourself look as big as possible. Get your coat on, raise above your head, make loud noises. They're after deer. They're not looking to eat humans. And so if you don't look like a deer, they're probably not going to want to touch you. So people hike all the time, and normally the cougar sees you before you see it, and it's going to try to avoid you. So it's one of those things is if you see one, just make yourself big and don't try not to look like a deer or sound like a deer. So.
Well, the cougar in question in this case is a done deal. It perished along the highway. But who knows how many more encounters we'll have with cougars as the winter progresses. With NCW Life Channel News in Orondo, I'm Eric Granstrom.
The best way to report a cougar sighting is to go to the Department of Fish and Wildlife's website at wdfw.wa.gov. Coming up next at tonight's meeting, the Eastmont School Board will once again wrestle with changing the name of Robert E. Lee Elementary, and the flu season has arrived and it appears to be a killer this year. I'm Grant Olson and you're watching NCW Life News.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
My name is Robert Duff. Current and previous occupation is architect, engineer, and a lawyer. Grew up here in Washington, born in Moses Lake. When I first came to CVCH, was looking for a place to get some dental work done. I was really impressed with the people at the counter. I mean, they were just on top of it. It only took her like 15 minutes to do the job. I didn't feel anything. The technology is so great, you don't even realize you're at the dentist. These people are so professional. I would have any one of these people in my home for dinner. These people are family.
Welcome back. With the changing of the name of Robert E. Lee Elementary School now solely in the hands of the Eastmont School Board, a meeting tonight could take a second look at how to move forward. The school board will rescind the proposal to put the issue on the November 6th ballot and further consider the name change. Local attorney John Brangwyn and retired Judge Carol Wardell presented the district with a threat of a lawsuit because of the lack of legal authority to request a public vote. Brangwyn spoke about the situation Olson on Street Talk and Other Stuff Live with Mike Magnotti this morning.
She came to me, she was the PUD's attorney for it, so she knows a lot of these arcane laws about, what junior government entities can do. And she said they can't put that to a vote. They don't have the authority. They can only put bonds to a vote. So she did some research, put together a letter, brought it to me, and said, would I mind co-authoring it, because she's not licensed to practice anymore.
Okay.
So I looked at it, I agreed with it, and said, yeah, I'll put it. So I put it on my letterhead. We made clear, we both signed it. And I basically said, yeah, if you persist in trying to put this to a vote, I'm going to bring a legal action against you.
Right, and I saw the letter on Facebook. Somebody posted it there.
Right, so you don't have the authority to do it.
Sure.
And I didn't hear anything. It was delivered to the superintendent. Didn't hear anything back from that. I didn't know what they were going to do. And then there was a school board meeting where the superintendent brought this idea of just drop the Robert E. Lee, and they just pushed that aside. They weren't going to do that. I think they were going to stick with their vote deal. Well, unbeknownst to me, the school district had sent that to Steve Clem, the Douglas County elected prosecutor. And by statute, school districts usually just hire an attorney to do stuff, but by statute, they county prosecutors advise schools. So he looked at it, he looked at our letter that Carol and I came up with, and he agreed with it too. And said, yeah, you don't have the authority to do that. So that's now, they haven't had a meeting since they got Steve Clem's letter back. So I assume that they're working on their thank you letter to me, so I'm going to wait for that. I said, right?
Tune in to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz tomorrow morning for a follow-up on tonight's meeting. Chelan County Superior Court officially has a new judge. At a ceremony Saturday at the Numerica Performing Arts Center in Wenatchee, Kristen Ferreira was sworn in by Washington State Supreme Court Justice Stephen Gonzalez with a little help from Ferreira's two young daughters.
Please repeat after me. I, Kristen M. Ferreira.
I, Kristen M. Ferreira.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Washington.
And the Constitution of the State of Washington.
And that I will faithfully and impartially.
And that I will faithfully and impartially.
Discharge the duties.
Discharge the duties.
Of the office of judge.
Of the office of judge.
For the Superior Court of Chelan County, State of Washington.
For the Superior Court of Chelan County, State of Washington.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Congratulations and welcome. Next three very important people will have the new judge don her judicial robe. Please don't fall off.
Kristen Ferreira replaces Judge Alicia Nakata, who is retiring. Ferreira was a partner at Jeffers, Danielson, Son, and Aylward in Wenatchee. Prior to working in the private practice, she served as a law clerk with the Tulalip Tribe's Office of the Reservation Attorney. Ferreira also serves on the Board of Campaign for Equal Justice and participates in the Chelan-Douglas County Volunteer Attorney Services. The flu season has arrived and it appears to be a killer this year. Officials with the State Health Department report 20 people have died from influenza complications so far. Officials tell the Associated Press that most of the people who died were older than 70 and had underlying health conditions. According to the Centers for Disease Control, flu activity has jumped across the country, with 36 states now reporting widespread flu activity. Health officials say annual flu vaccination is the best method of prevention against illness, followed by covering your cough, proper hand washing, and staying home from school or work when sick. Earlier today in Seattle, re-elected Seattle City Council member Lorena Gonzalez and newly elected council member Teresa Mosqueda invited Wenatchee High School's Mariachi Wenatchee to perform at their inauguration ceremony. Council member Gonzalez was the first ever elected Latina to the Seattle City Council in 2015. Mosqueda, also Latina, is joining a council that has become increasingly diverse over the past 2 years. Mosqueda said, "This year, instead of the traditional ceremony, we would be honored to be able to walk into the inauguration ceremony following members of the Mariachi Wenatchee to celebrate our heritage and these important policy-making positions that we've won." Mariachi director Ramon Rivera said the group was very excited to be part of the historical event. Well, Mariachi Wenatchee isn't the only Wenatchee High School organization performing for government officials. Tomorrow at noon, the Wenatchee High School Choir will be performing the national anthem for Governor Jay Inslee's State of the State address in Olympia. Choir director Don McCormick says the choir will also be performing in the Capitol Rotunda following the governor's address and are invited to the governor's reception that evening. The Wenatchee High School Vocal Ensemble won first place at the prestigious Heritage Festival that was held in New Orleans last April. And as we move on, now you're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Monday, starting our sports by reversing engines back to Friday. All began with Eastmont hosting the undefeated Moses Lake Chiefs on the NCW Life channel. I had the call along with Grant Olson as Caitlin Cox led the way for Eastmont with 13 points.
Simpson lost the handle, hands it off to Cox for a three-pointer. Good! As Brenna Rourke collects the ball, she's into the ball game now for the Wildcats. She'll shoot that three-pointer. Good! Carpenter down over right side to Loretta with the drive. Reverse layup. Good. Goodness gracious.
Left hand.
Yeah, Moses Lake certainly loaded for the future as well.
Yes.
And another pass stolen away by Loretta. And Brenna Rourke having a tough time with her passes here, and a shot by Loretta, and she's taken over this game here in the last few trips down the floor.
Moses Lake would go on for the 64-38 victory behind 14 points from Abby Rathbun and 12 from Jamie Loetta as the Chiefs improved to 10-0 on the season. Also on the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from Friday, Omak topped Cascade 60-34 and Okanagan got by Chelan 64-52. On the boys' side Friday, Eastmont got off to a good start with Anthony Leeson, Isaac Wellborn, and Tanner Wilson playing well off the bench. We had the call right here on the NCW Life channel.
Got a mismatch there on Kunjara. Lusan in the lane.
Beautiful.
Nice dish pass. Nelson up and good.
Beautiful assist there for Anthony Leeson. He's got two already in this early going.
Two Phillips between the leg dribble. Backs up. Now he's open. He's going to take the three up and good. Wow. Moses Lake, their largest lead at 9, 16-7. Haberlock baseline. There's Wellborn way up in the air. Up and good.
On the defensive end.
Esparza checks back in for Kuski. Here's Wellborn, left hand, no good. Nelson out of nowhere, up and in. 29 seconds left in the first quarter. Lassonde jukes and jives, right elbow, can't get the shot off though. Now goes to Wellborn, left side, it's good for 3.
Another feed from Anthony Lassonde. That's 3 assists for Lassonde in this first quarter.
Lassonde finished with 15 points while Wellborn had a game-high 25 for Eastmont, but it was too much. Zach Phillips and Michael Byers for Moses Lake. They led the Chiefs with 20 and 23 respectively. 91-71 the final. Let's check the Les Schwab prep scoreboard from Friday. Omak took care of Cascade 60-34, while Okanagan moved into first place alone in the CTL with a 64-52 win over Chelan. Turning the page to Saturday, Eastmont dropped a 76-47 decision to Lake City out of Idaho. Sunnyside dumped Wenatchee 77-53. It was Kashmir clobbering Omak 59-39. Riverside Christian edged Entiat 54-52. Waterville Mansfield was 13 better than Lake Roosevelt 60-47, and Oroville got by Manson by 149-48. On the girls' side on Saturday, Lake City edged Eastmont 40-36. Sunnyside down Wenatchee 77-45. Kashmir had no trouble with Omak. Entiat ran past Riverside Christian, and Waterville Mansfield dropped to a lower scoring affair to Lake Roosevelt 35-26. Wenatchee Wild are 0 for 2018 so far after losing 2 north of the border over the weekend. And for the first time this season, Wenatchee was shut out in the opener on Friday, falling to Salmon Arm 3-0. Then on Saturday, Penticton scored 3 second-period goals to break a 1-0 tie. They cruised to a 5-2 victory. A.J. Vanderbeck and Josh Arnold, the only players to score for Wenatchee all weekend long. The Wild return home to host West Kelowna at the Town Toyota Center this Friday and Saturday. NFL's wild card weekend, well, it was Marcus Mariota leading the way as Tennessee with 3 second-half touchdowns. They came from behind to beat Kansas City 22-21. Atlanta advanced with a win over the Rams. Jacksonville beat Buffalo, and New Orleans over Carolina. Finally, it is the national championship coming up tonight on college football, Georgia and Alabama. That's just kicking off. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. We continue kind of a sports vein here with our feature of the day. The Mariners Caravan will be at Pybus Market tomorrow night. J.C. Beck has the story on the NCW Life channel.
Tomorrow night, Seattle Mariners players and team officials will be at the Pybus Public Market from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. for a question and answer session and to sign autographs for the public. They will also have prizes to give away from the Mariners team store. The Mariner Moose and members of the Mariners broadcast team will also join those Mariners players to take pictures and provide entertainment for the kids. Last year when they came to visit, I was down there with a camera crew for the NCW Life magazine, and I got to meet Ben Gamble, who is now a rising star on the Mariners roster, as well as iconic Mariners broadcaster Mike Blowers.
It's nothing I'm not accustomed to. I've always kind of played right, left, and center coming up through the minor leagues. So it's nothing really new for me. I get my work in batting practice depending on where I'm playing or whatever. So it's day by day, really.
Actually, I went to junior high, high school, and college in the state of Washington. I'm one of the fortunate few that was actually able to play Major League Baseball for their hometown team. And my wife and I and my family, we've been there basically our entire lives.
Also during last year's giveaway, William O'Brien was the big winner of 4 tickets to a home game of his choosing. I had him come into the NCW Life studio where he gave me an inside look at his most valuable Mariners possession.
I was always hoping for a baseball bat and usually didn't get one. The only bats I had were really bad plastic ones that if you tried hitting a ball with it, it'd go snap and it'd break. And I'm like, how am I supposed to play baseball with these things? And I got my hand on a bat, but I never did use it actually because it was the bat signed by Edgar Martinez.
So again, the Seattle Mariners are coming to the Pybus Public Market tomorrow night from 4 p.m. to 5:15. J.C. Beck, NCW Life News.
And we'll be back in just a moment with more local news and your forecast right here on the NCW Life channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. And before we get to the details of that forecast, let's take a look once again outside our weather window where, yeah, it's rush hour in the Wenatchee area. And we saw basically a quiet day today around the area with temperatures warming up into the mid and upper 30s. But for the most part, the inland northwest will experience overcast weather with low clouds and fog throughout much of the week, at least through midweek. Valley rain and moderate accumulations of mountain snow are expected tonight in some areas. Lowland snow accumulations, though, are not expected through midweek, with temperatures remaining at or above freezing. A much stronger and slightly cooler storm system on Thursday will have the potential to produce heavier mountain and northern valley accumulating snow, followed by gusty winds that could happen on Thursday. Our chance for precipitation is 80% tonight with the rain-snow mix, and 80% chance of rain for Wednesday night, and then an 80% chance of rain as well for Thursday. Friday and into the weekend, we can expect mostly cloudy skies, light winds, and dry conditions with highs in the mid to upper 30s. Let's take a look at that forecast now. And as we mentioned, not much change in our temperature. 33 the overnight low tonight, but I'll tell you what, that could make a very slippery commute tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind as you get up tomorrow. 38 though, the high temperature will warm up nicely for tomorrow afternoon. 39 even warmer on Wednesday with an 80% chance of rain showers, rain mixed with snow Wednesday night, and then an 80% chance of, geez, who knows what we'll see as far as precip on Thursday, a little bit of everything. Friday, all the way up to 42, our low of 30, and then things quiet down for the weekend, as I mentioned, with mostly cloudy skies, temperatures between 35 and 40, with lows in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. And we leave you tonight with an amazing video of 3 synchronized swimmers who prove that it's possible to walk on water. Or is it? Pretty cool. If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. Also, make sure you tune into the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz, and I will be in for Steve Hare with the news. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and then struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99, it's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works, yourworkoutrx.com.
Thursday night, Hockey Night on the NCW Life Channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with the voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is Hockey Night on the NCW Life Channel.